What?
Is that it?
This meeting is being live streamed.
I'll screen share with you so you can benefit from the experience. Ooh, we have just
Ooh.
been teleported to YouTube. Do you
I've
think we're
never
live?
seen this background before.
Hmm, someone's been preparing this ahead of time.
Ah.
One watching now, is it me? It is me. Yeah, you've just said background before, Sage. We're about 30 seconds delay.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Of this page or
Just, live streaming via Zoom.
ah, I think it's handy because you don't need to set up like OBS separately.
Yeah, yeah. That's really nice. Okay, nice to try. I will try to keep an eye on the chat and see if anyone comes by. But this is the very first time we do this, Sage, so low expectations, right? Should I do a bit of a social media post? I'll
Well,
just I'll just do Mastodon.
if you want people to come, how would they know?
They'd get a notification in YouTube because they're their favorite streamers.
Oh, click that bell.
And 30 minutes on contributors, documentation, changes, Django, Wagtail, CMS, open source. Sorry, not sorry. All right.
Wow,
Right on, Sage.
right on.
Read on. Okay. What's on the agenda, Sage?
Some policy changes, I
Yeah.
heard. What kind of policy?
Well, contributors, policies. Sounds very exciting, I know. I mean, we just had like a big release, so now that it's out, we get to go back to the fundamentals, I suppose, is the idea.
Oh,
We have more time to think about how we do things rather than just shipping features and features and features. How long have you been thinking about your policy changes?
let's look at when the issue was open.
May
Uh,
14th.
I mean, it's been longer than that because we made this issue after thinking about it for so long and we
Yeah,
kept putting it off.
yeah. I mean, those changes are, it might only be the one line change somewhere, but it takes a lot of thought to decide what's right for us, I suppose. Is that the main blocker?
Yeah, and also just the overall impact to our users, I think. Like what's the expectation from our users and how can we meet that expectation with what's feasible for us as maintainers?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting in open source, this dance between, providing the software like for free as a kind of as a gift to people for them to do whatever they wish with. But at the same time, I guess you wanna meet their needs, even though there's no like contractual expectation of the software being good or support being this or that.
Yep.
But yeah, it feels pretty crucial for us to be successful that we get the right definitions of support and that people know what to expect. Is it a policy change or is it just like better documenting what we're doing anyway at the moment?
Um, there might be some changes to how we do things because I think the way we do things currently just are very it's very flexible, and when the things we want to do is not explicitly stated in the documentation, we make decisions ad hoc on a case by case basis.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's also just like a matter of us making it easier to have those decisions if we don't have to make them again and again on the spot every time.
Yeah.
Reducing the burden to make those kinds of decisions on the spot. So in this case, that's when we merge things, right? We have to decide, oh, is this something that has to be backported to this or that release?
Yes. And I think historically, we've always kind of followed what Django does in terms of the release process. But of course, with us having like 4 releases a year and just different timeline for releases, we can't just adopt everything as is.
Yep. As suitable for us with 4 releases a year. Yeah, that's a lot of releases. And lots of if we had the exact same policies as Django, even though we have how many? Is it like 1.5 releases a year for Django? So our release cadence is like 2.5 times higher or something. We'd get in lots of trouble with having to support many versions at the same time.
Yep.
Okay, I'll start taking some notes because this is all very hard to unpack. That's why we're here. But I guess something that if we break it down a bit, if we follow through our own reasoning, should be should be feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, so we have 3 such policy tweaks we want to make. When I say policy, like it sounds like the biggest deal ever, but it's really just again like often a matter of documenting what we've already been doing, so that more people can do those types of tasks. And yeah, I guess to lower the burden.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there are lots more changes we'd want to make if we had all the time in the world to adjust those things, or is that kind of it?
Sorry, what do you mean? Like small changes?
Like, those 3 things, that's kind of 3 we discussed recently we want to adjust, but do you have like 10 more in your head?
Oh, um, I think there might be more, but maybe not 10. But I think so far these three, or at least the latter two, are the ones that have always been like the main questions when we are about to merge a PR. So it would be nice to get this sorted.
Yeah, so these 2 uh, merging PRs. Options. Yeah, and merging is a sensitive task, but definitely something that we want more people to feel comfortable doing.
Yeah, I can give you a couple more, I guess, if you
Yeah.
want. So one is like at what point, if you as a reviewer have suggested changes and like you want to, like you agree with with what the PR is aiming to achieve, but not necessarily the code. And like if you change, like if a PR only needs like small changes, you can do that as you merge. But there's a point where you make enough changes that it starts to look like a whole different PR altogether. So, do you need to ask for another core team member to review? And like, how do you decide when to ask for review? I guess, I mean, it doesn't really, you can't really codify that into a policy, I think it's definitely going to be like on a case by case basis.
I
It's
feel like
like,
I know the answer to this one.
yeah, what is it?
You just ask another team member, hey,
Yeah.
do you think this needs more review? Yes or no? And they'll tell you, no, I think it's fine. Or, oh, definitely.
Communication.
Communication, yeah, just like, I think for me, I tend to overthink some things. And sometimes that's useful, but sometimes it's just too much. And the best way to cut through that is just to ask someone else, am I overthinking this? Or if not, let me help me out and let's go through this together and get it over the line.
Yeah.
At what point do you need to ask for yes, that's do you think we need to write this down?
No. It's probably kind of like the problem of what's I forgot the original metaphor, but like if you start breaking up something into smaller parts and replacing it with something with parts from something else, like
The
is it a
ship
new
of
thing?
Theseus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
I've been guilty a few times of doing ship of Theseus on other people's pull requests. Actually, just yesterday, there was this one from one of our colleagues um, who's moved on from Torchbox since, but he's still a colleague and a friend. September of last year, and he's moved on. He's not coming back for sure, regardless of how good his changes are. And I think I kept
Ooh.
like it's the exact same files that he's added, but I compressed them more. And the fixture changes, I reduced them a lot. So I basically had to completely redo the fixtures to still keep a subset of his changes, if that makes sense. So, but it's our demo site, so I feel like it's somewhat more okay for me to cut a few corners.
But the spirit of the PR is still there.
The spirit of the PR. That's a great way to put it, Sage. The spirit of the PR and the PR of Theseus. That's a great metaphor. Do you want to see what it looks like in practice?
The new fixtures, or
Just the animated GIF in Wagtail.
ah, oh, you know what? I I thought I was imagining things when you scroll down the PR, and I was like, did that image just move? I was like, maybe it was because you were scrolling.
We have moving pictures.
Oh.
I have spent a good 30 minutes of my evening yesterday cutting this down so it would loop as smoothly as possible. I was trying hard to make it as small of a file as possible while having it last as long as possible.
Why is that animation 5 hours long?
It's a very strong baguette to cut. Oh, I realized the UI is in French. Interesting.
Oh, that's quite a long label just for safe draft.
This is the dirty, dirty truth of working on multilingual UIs, Sage. It's mostly longer in other languages than English. How long do you say safe draft in Indonesian?
Simpan draft.
No, that's not
So
so bad.
two two words still.
Nice. Anyway, we're getting distracted. Any other ones than the PR of
Um,
Theseus?
maybe. Well, I guess this would be a burden to people who don't want to do it this way. But when I merge PR, I tried my best to make sure the GitHub status is marked as merged instead of closed.
Oh, preserving GitHubisms.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says.
When you need to merge, when you need to rebase a PR before merging, and maybe make a few small fixes. Um, if you want the PR status to be merged, you need to push to the PR branch and then merge it either with GitHub's merge button or locally and push it to the upstream main branch. But it is an extra step for some people. So sometimes people just merge things by pushing it to upstream main directly and leaving the original PR branch as is and then close it. But that ends up in the PR state being closed rather than merged. So it shows you the red icon instead of the purple one. And it doesn't really count as being merged if people care about it. Like, yeah. And I just think it's nice that um, it shows the PR as being merged. And also,
Yeah,
yeah, just to show a bit of appreciation to the contributor. And also, I think it also benefits us because if you merge it in the way that GitHub likes it, when you click on the commit from the list of commits, or like if you go to the commit directly, GitHub will point to the PR. Um, so it's easy to get the context of where that commit came from. But if you just push it directly to the main branch and close the PR, GitHub loses that context. So sometimes it's a bit harder to track down where the commit came from. But yeah,
yeah. It's an interesting thought experiment as well of deciding how much GitHub should just make room for that.
yeah. I know that the author of Carl Daniel, he's actively against having to change his own workflow just to suit GitHub. He would much rather GitHub change their side to allow such use cases. Like,
Does he use GitHub?
yeah,
Then he's already changing his own workflow to suit GitHub,
well,
no?
yeah, but it's kind of like, I guess, let's say he also accepts patches from mailing lists, and then he just merges things to his local main branch and then pushes it to the upstream main branch. There's no change in that regard,
Yeah.
whether you use GitHub or not. But yeah, if you specifically want to get that merge status, you need to push back to the original PR branch, which
Yeah, I
again
see.
is the extra step.
Yeah. I wonder if there's been some discussions on the GitHub maintainers community about that. Um, I shall inquire. In my experience, lots of hits and misses with GitHub's direction. But one thing that I've definitely noticed is when I give them feedback, they tend to take note of it. So, um, yeah, I'll take a look if they have, where
Yeah,
the
but
discussion is at
whether
for them.
they do an action on it is
Last
another.
time I reported something to them, like it was an accessibility issue, so I don't know if they treat those more seriously, but they fixed it within like 3, 4 weeks
Oh,
and
that's
asked me
good.
for feedback on the fix after.
Huh.
It was a really positive experience. It's hmm, maybe more than 3, 4 weeks. March 3rd, someone says thank you 2 weeks later. Some back and forth. No, more than 3, 4 weeks. More like 3, 4 months, really. But
I
yeah,
think it depends whether the issue that you reported is on a feature that they're actively working on or not.
yeah,
Because I think the one that you showed was issues, and like they've been hard at work making the new UI for issues and PRs. Whereas I've been making suggestions to the discussions feature for a while, And I think when they were initially developing the feature, they were quite active in responding.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think at the moment, they're just kind of like, it's a bit like in a keep the lights on, don't touch anything because they don't have a dedicated team working on it anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure, even if they had, that team has specific priorities. So,
Yeah.
like to me, I don't really mind that it takes time. It's just, being able to have the dialogue that is,
Yeah.
I think, what's useful for PR messages without pushing. Check maintainers community. They have a separate private forum for open source maintainers, and yeah, tend to have pretty deep discussions about their tools on there. Okay. Um, Another side quest. Any more possible?
No, let's get on to the real things.
The real thing. Damn. Okay. So we have three. Let's start with the simplest one.
Yeah.
Document how we close stale PRs.
I wasn't on the core team meeting last time, so maybe you could give me some context.
Yes, I'll give you some context. We have stats we keep tabs on for the core team. And I think there's some varying degrees of usefulness of those stats. We don't want to think that the numbers are the goals, but the numbers do represent kind of often a reasonable proxy for the health of the project. And so one of those numbers is the number of pull requests open. Um, I don't think it's the best number for us. I think what we want to achieve more than anything is just when someone takes the time to make a contribution in the form of a pull request, we try and not have it linger more than necessary. So we try and have the right, I guess, support structure so that PRs that are in the right place get merged faster. And on the opposite side of that, if PRs take a long time because the contributor isn't necessarily working on them anymore, it's also potentially problematic for us that other contributors might feel like they have to wait for that rather than necessarily get a shot at the task themselves. So I guess the textbook example is someone comes by, they make a PR, and then they never come again. And that's completely fine. It's no problem at all that they've moved on. But for us, it's a bit of a liability if other contributors feel like they can't make those changes. So I guess that's why we feel like it's useful to keep new PRs, get them fast, but also old PRs at some point have a cutoff where we say, okay, this probably should be back to being closed or back to being just an issue in our backlog. So yeah, total pull requests just recently managed to go under 100 and one.
Ooh!
I know, right? Wow.
Ah!
Below 100. Again, like the number, like, it's just five more than 103, so it doesn't change anything. But I guess it's a good demonstration of our effort to make things move at a reasonable pace. And yeah, I feel like in an ideal world, if you have a small project and the PR count is like one or two, you're probably more encouraged to make PRs as a contributor than if it's like 1.5 thousand, right?
I think. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Since we're talking about this number, I wonder if we should have separate count for new PRs that are open and then the PRs that we close instead of just the delta, because yeah, if we're only talking about the delta, like let's say there are 10 open PRs, 10 new open PRs, and then we cl- merge them in a single week, all of them. That sounds like something that we could celebrate, but in the dashboard it will say that there's zero changes in the number of PRs, and we can't
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. It's a good point, Sage. Stats. Keep tabs on the delta, not.
No. Oh, oh wait. I think not just the delta, right? Um. Oh, the delta of each opened and closed PRs, not the difference in the total, not the delta of the total number of PRs that are currently open.
I'm not gonna try and understand that. I'm gonna keep my brain for the policy changes. I'm gonna trust
Sorry.
you to be right and make this happen. Number of open and closed PRs. Ask Sage for specifics. I'm sure I couldn't understand it. It's just like
Yeah.
I already know my brain power. I have to commit it to those changes. So yes, the number and the rationale is keep contributions flowing and basically a stale PR. At some point, it has the same value whether it's open or closed as far as the existing contributor picking it up. But for someone new to pick it up, it's much simpler. If the PRs are closed, they know they can get on with creating their own take on those contributions.
Hmm.
And yeah, as you said, like that's something that we've done like ad hoc a lot in the past, and it takes just a fair bit of brain power to decide, is this still enough? How much should we like go and look for the person who made the contribution versus should we close it and move on? So we need to make that change in our docs. We need to find the relevant place in our docs. It's going to be the contributing docs, I assume. I don't think we have a page specifically for people who do triage and merging, or do we? We have some triage and merging guidelines somewhere on here. Maybe in committing code?
I guess that might be the closest.
Committing code is definitely focused on, you want to merge. Development, this is all like contributors getting going.
Ah.
That's the right place.
Yep.
I mean, lots of these, could suggest lots of like rewardings and structure changes to make this better. There are lots of gaps in here, but we also don't want to go overboard and like document every single thing right now.
Hmm.
So I think it's good for us to do like incremental. Issue tracking. So we'll switch to my fork and probably just make it straight from GitHub.
Ooh.
So yeah, I guess those docs here, the kind of triage documentation that are primarily written for contributors to know what's happening, but they're also really useful for core team members, obviously. Yes, that's something like this we want.
Mm.
Pull requests. Yeah, okay, so this is all focused on merging. And it doesn't seem like there's much about triaging of old pull requests, which is definitely a big task for us.
Yeah.
Um, so I think somewhere around here we can add a section or a paragraph about closing
Hmm.
stale PRs. Um, Closing stale PRs. So what we want to say is,
If a PR hasn't seen any activity in what's the period we want to aim for?
Yeah, so we want to do why, when, how. So when do we say PR or pull requests? Pull requests. Pull requests don't become stale over time. We will pause them to make room for other contributions on the same topic.
Is it for other contributions on the same topic or for other contributors to pick it up again?
Work on the other contributions. This can be a different contributor taking on the work or encouraging a different approach. Something like that.
Yeah.
Mm, as a general rule, this applies to pull requests done for more than a year. No, it's not opened. It's without activity. Is it a year? Is it 6 months, 9 months?
Um, what about one or two release cycle?
Or over multiple release cycles? 2 to 4 release cycles. 2 is a bit harsh.
I think when we say without activity, it can mean two different things. Whether there's no activity from our side, like it's waiting, like the ball is on our side, is on our court,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
is it on theirs?
It's not stale if it's needing review more than anything else.
Yeah, but
Okay,
sometimes
so
it gets, it needs rebasing, like because it's, the main branch has changed so much, and at that point, you might want to redo the PR.
how about stalled? Is it clear enough when I say stalled that it means that um, the PR is as far as it can be without someone coming back and making changes to it?
Yeah.
Okay. This applies
Um.
to pull requests that have stalled
Do you need to
over.
say 2 4 release cycles? Because like, what about what happens to more than five? Like five and more release cycles. Like I mean, we definitely have PRs that are older than that.
So you would rather just have the one limit?
More than two release cycles.
Side note, why does it say renew his new version every 2 months? It's every 3 months.
Yeah, I don't know why it says 2 months.
Software and documentation. Stalled over more than 2 release cycles. Okay. Once a pull request is closed, any contributor, maybe something like that.
I just checked the Git blame for that, and it's been there since 2016.
Okay, we'll fix it separately Just sorry. Da-da-dum. Fix typo in
Wait, sorry, I
the
was looking at something else. Did you actually use the horizontal bar for the for for separating the? Sorry, can you kind of cancel and just scroll down a bit to the changes? Oh, it's just a typo. Oh,
that?
oh, oh. Sorry, I thought you were already making the changes for the. It's not.
Boom.
It's not. It's probably not typo, but rather change in circumstances.
You may you may go back and edit my commit message and force push.
No.
Don't you dare. That would be very, very daring of you. Um, we close them to make room for other contributions. As general rule, this applies to pull requests are stalled for more than 2 release cycles. Once a pull request is closed, any contributor can pick it back up, can pick the task back up. Is that good enough?
Do you need to use the horizontal line?
Would you rather I didn't?
I think I generally would rather see just a paragraph or an actual heading.
What would you rather see, a paragraph or an actual heading?
Since it's just this one paragraph, I think. I mean, I'm fine either way. It's just as long as it's not just some horizontal bar.
I'll give you one reason why headings are always better. If you
Mhm.
want to link someone straight to
Yeah,
this, or if you want a screen reader user to be able to jump straight to your closing policy without having to go through everything above.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the heading density is way too low on this. It'd be great to improve that someday. Like if you can go a whole screen without seeing a heading, it's probably could use more breaking up. So we are on my fork. We can commit. It's gonna ask me for a
It's
branch,
oh yeah.
and I can say the PRs close. Do you have a preferred branch naming policy, Sage?
No, although um, I know some people do like docs slash like fix slash something, and sometimes I do that too. It's
Yeah.
just I don't like it when it says feet slash.
There's feet involved. Based on call team discussions, new wording to encourage us to do this more while keeping some discretion case by case. Um, the goal is to encourage contributors to momentum contributors, a contribution becoming stale is fine. It's completely for people to.
You just avoided the ChatGPT allegations.
There's no way I'm leaving this to ChatGPT to word for the project for other contributors to have a clear signal is with the changes. Yeah, it's not just for us, lots of other users of Wagtail, they just want, like, they ask any updates for this, +1, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it can feel annoying, but I think it comes from the right place that they care and they want to see changes. And we don't want to encourage people to do +1 everything, but it's nice when people care. Yeah, I've gone back and forth on branch names prefixes as well. I feel like it's just not valuable enough for me to keep doing it. Okay, so PR, Wagtail. Um, I assume you've reviewed it enough, but this is definitely something that's going to require more than one core team member's feedback to merge.
Wait, um, I thought you wrote something about to allow for like new approach altogether or something like
I
that.
removed it.
Okay.
Do you want me to re-add it?
I think my concern is just when it says to make room for other contributions, it might be mistaken for like a completely different contribution. Like we would rather focus on something else than your PR.
Ah, okay, no, no. Let's tweak the wording then. I'm just doing a bit of triage before I get back to those wording changes. Boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo.
Oh no! Look at the that toolbar for the.
Oh, it's always been like that. I assume this is my um, refined GitHub.
Is it not because you're zoomed in?
Maybe because I'm zoomed in. Um, okay, close when pull requests become stale over time, we will close them to encourage other contributions. Is it clearer than make room, or is that not enough?
No, I think my problem is with other contributions. It's not. It can be taken as something that's just some other PR not related to this one. Like we would rather review a different PR than your PR to encourage other contributors to pick up pick it up to to, to work on the issue or
See, this is where ChatGPT would help. Stop overthinking the wording to pick the task. But how about that?
I think it's fine by me. Just the wording of back up is a bit. It seems a bit informal.
It's time to ask ChatG.
Ooh, GPT-5.
Would you pro Sage and I are drafting this
Who is Sage?
headlines. We're not sure about the wording. Could you provide feedback and possibly 2, 3 variants? Please keep them short, concise. Yeah, not my favorite provider, OpenAI, but for now that's the one I have an account for. in the future, hopefully switch to something that uses up less energy.
Mm.
Feedback, clear. Oh, repeats. Oh no. Touch warmer. To keep walk moving. That is definitely warmer. See no progress. To take them on? I quite like that.
Yes, I like that.
That's quite nice as well to phrase it like that. Okay. Thank you, ChatG. How do we give ChatG
Chat G, you call it
co-author?
that? That's the first time I've ever heard Chat G. I thought your voice cut off. Like, let's ask Chat G. What?
I like ChatG. No? Is it bad?
I don't know. It's just
Do you think we should treat AI like a tool?
no. It's just it's funny sounding.
Um, Once the pull request is closed, any contributor can pick the task back up.
That's the
Any
same,
contributor
isn't it?
can resume work on it at any time with the same approach taken further or with a different.
Angle. Uh,
Thank you. I'd rather give you credits than ChatG.
Sage GPT.
Um, Feeling better?
Yeah, yeah.
Tweaks based on feedback.
And now you ask Copilot to review it.
Uh, I do really like to ask Copilot for a review these days, but honestly, it is not necessarily because I think the reviews are tremendously good. It's also just to learn from it. I'd really like to use something like this if I had a solid understanding of exactly how much energy really it's using on those requests and exactly what it takes to power that. Someday maybe we will get there. Yeah, this is just like the summarization side of pull request reviews. I really have no use for this.
Off topic.
Sorry, Copilot. Don't get me wrong, I think it has value. It just, I'd rather like it was to the point where it can give me a check mark in much less work for it if it's possible, or um, otherwise stay silent if it's only repeating what I said here. Um, okay, one done. What are we doing next, Sage?
Sorry, I just realized I'm muted. Um, well, how long did that one take us?
What?
I think we actually have people watching.
Yeah?
Is there anyone in the chat?
No.
Okay.
Well, I hope they find this interesting. Definitely we can take questions. There's a bit of delay, but happy to hear where people's thoughts are at. Um, this one should be simple.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say famous last words or something. So we have a backport policy and our backport policy needs tweaks to make more room for, because it's one more that's taken from Django's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for Wagtail, it's fair to say that the admin UI is much more crucial to our success. And I guess we need to make tweaks to this policy so that, again, it's less work on a case-by-case basis for us to decide which UI fixes to backport.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we want to add a line or two. Must also be applied to the last feature release branch when they fix critical problems. So I guess that's what we need to grapple with. When are UI and accessibility fixes critical problems? Or make it clear, yeah, okay. I think we can just, I think it's the relevant approach to say that some of those bugs are critical problems. Security, data loss, crashing, functionality bugs, regressions, um, major. It's not just major though, right? Sometimes it's nice to be able to backport things that are not necessarily so big, but we feel like they are safe because they are actually quite small.
I do have that opinion as well, but sometimes seemingly safe change can have unintended side effects.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's fair, but often, like for me, for example, I tend to think that if it's a change that's in CSS only, I can have a pretty good grasp that the side effects are like well accounted for.
Yeah, but we have had cases where something broke because of a one-line CSS change.
Yeah, of course, of course. CSS is that powerful. Um, so we want to make room. I guess this is relevant wording to start with. Let's start with that and narrow it down. Oh,
Missing period.
accessibility ish bugs. I think this is the key where some users might be experiencing major issues where getting in the way of specific user groups. What do you think of that wording for accessibility? Take that you approve. Oh, Baptiste is here. Baptiste says, I'm here in the chat.
Hello. Good to see you. See you.
Yes. Let us know, Baptiste, if you have thoughts on the ideal policy change for Wagtail's backporting of UI fixes. It's a tricky topic. Um, yeah, sorry, just thinking through this. I think it might be useful for us to take a quick look at our our accessibility audits. Don't know how often you look at these Sage, but we have a lot of audits, and we have a specific classification of the severity of the issues.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think in my mind, we want to make room for all of those. Like if it's just an enhancement through accessibility, definitely not backporting that. But if it's significantly slowed down someone's use of Wagtail, that starts to be in the territory where you want to reduce that frictions.
What about cases where fixing the accessibility issue would require um, like new implementation-ish code, not just a matter of fixing something?
In my mind, when you decide to backport, you don't decide just based on, you never decide based on the criticality of the bug. You devise your changes to be backportable. So in that kind of scenario you described, I'll probably encourage us to consider whether there's the backportable change and consider what's the right change. And there might be separate things.
Yeah, but sometimes like you can backport it, but it's like, let's say it involves writing new methods on some class instead of like fixing existing logic and existing methods.
Yeah.
Would you backport such changes?
I think we would if it was crashing bugs or data loss or
Yeah, yeah,
security, right?
yeah, we would.
So same.
Okay.
Obviously, we wanna, it's a fine line between fixing something and introducing other issues. So still wanna have to walk that line, but I think it's the same for those three as well. Baptiste!
Ooh, hello, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Good to actually see you now.
It's good to not have such a huge delay as well. It helps.
I know. Sage, Baptiste said in the chat that he has thoughts about backport policies, so that's why I'm inviting him. Now, now, Baptiste, we expect you to contribute.
Yes. So you want me to have serious thoughts? I see. Um,
No, no, any thoughts is good.
no,
Um,
I just closed the stream to move on to this call when you were talking about designing the bug fix to be back portable, and I thought that was a very interesting take because I have done some contribution of Django that were backported eventually before, but I had never thought about designing the fix to be backportable. So that is an interesting
hmm,
aspect to it. Because I think if you work on a fix to be backportable, then it should have the criteria for backporting is different than assuming that, like, if you're able to assume that the fix, there was some thought given to how this would work on different versions, then it's a bit different than just taking a random fix that was made on main and hoping it's just going to work on
yeah.
previous version.
In my mind, for accessibility, it's very similar to when you respond to security issues that are live in the wild, where you wanna You want to make the right fix for future users, and you want to make a fix for current users, and you want to make it possible for people who might not be able to upgrade to get a fix as well. So naturally, you're going to design very different fixes for the different use cases if you have to. Because, I like accessibility bugs, like some of them, they're not necessarily blockers, but some, like someone literally can't do their job until you fix it. So you better like have a solution when they take the time to report it back to you. I'd feel bad otherwise.
I mean, that sounds like a blocker if it blocks people. I think it's you're just swapping the definition of backportable to the definition of blocker, but you still need to define what constitutes a blocker.
Oh yeah, for accessibility we defined it. It's
Yeah.
there.
If you have a definition for accessibility, then I would say reuse that criteria. The one thing I wanted to mention is you probably also want to mention that maybe it's already mentioned that maintainers can decide to backport or not backport, you know. Um,
Yeah. Where do we add this, Sage?
I think if you search for discretion, does it exist in this file?
That would be the right word, wouldn't it? Ooh, does this version exist? Hmm.
User discretion is advised.
It seems the description doesn't exist.
What about merger? Oh no.
Oh, so many things to improve.
Or maybe it's on a different document.
Yeah,
Like
go hunt adding unreasonable friction. I don't want to overthink it too much. Just so you know, Baptiste, we've been overthinking this for months already. So trying to cut our losses. What do you think of that wording?
I think unreasonable is it's a weasel word. You're just moving a like if you're trying to define a criteria, you can't use a word like unreasonable because everyone's idea of reasonable is going to be different.
Well, that's the point of discretion. No? It's a tactical use of weasel words to express where the discretion should be used.
I would just have a line item that says at the end, having all that said, it's still at the discretion of mergers. But
Yeah, okay.
I think when you're designing a criteria, you want it to be as clear as possible.
Yeah.
Because if I was a new maintainer and I would be like, okay, let me read through our documentation, then I would just think, okay, is this reasonable? I don't actually know because I can't. How do I gauge what is reasonable or not?
At the discretion of maintainers, we may also apply patches. I don't like apply patches. It sounds like we are committing over email.
I have some feelings about the word patch, but that's probably not add to this discussion.
Right now we're patching in here. That's fine by me. Uh, let's keep it. It's gonna be our private joke in the Wagtail docs.
it's copied from Django before they changed the word patches.
Oh, they changed it in those types of docs as well.
I
I'm
think
pretty sure there's still a lot there, so this one maybe, but there's still a lot of
I
patches in
think I know
Django.
someone who changed it.
Is it a patch release still? Semantic
Mm,
versioning is major, minor patch?
patch. Yeah, I think.
That could
Okay.
be quite confusing because that's two separate
Yeah.
meanings of the word patch.
Apply patches in additional scenarios. I don't want to make it too complex. We're gonna ship it like this. Adding unreasonable friction, adding um
Are you going to keep the misaligned bullet as well? Or
is it misaligned?
It looks misaligned on my screen.
You're right. It is misaligned.
I have been told also that you're supposed to use um, stars instead of dashes for bullets in lists.
Yes, that is more accessible. But
The classic.
for now, I'll favor consistency. I think we have auto formatting on the docs now, don't we, Sage?
Mm,
Oh, we don't enforce it,
yeah.
but we do regularly run it.
Which is weird.
Baptiste is right. Let's go,
Did I
Baptiste.
did I manage to sidetrack you?
This is like, open source maintenance day to day. Yak shaving. It's not yak shaving. It's a concrete improvement. Um, switch documentation markdown to consistently use stars for. I love this issue title.
What about just introducing like auto formatting of documentation files?
Do you think we should?
Well, if you want to switch the markdown to consistently use stars, but you don't actually introduce an auto formatter, what's the point? Because
That is a very good point.
yeah.
Also, I think they're technically called asterisks.
But stars. Okay, I'll keep the star in the title because I like it too much. And we'll do asterisks.
You can spell
Um,
it with an X, just
Asterix is
for the French viewers out there.
considering possible improvements that would help our users. So formatting. I'm sure we have an issue about that. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this, so we'll draft more later. I'll go with unreasonable. Fight me in the PR review. I am on the wrong thing though. I should be on my fork.
Ooh, is that concurrent editing notifications? No, it's not.
I guess it kind of is.
Yeah, but only after you've
Um,
committed.
add additional backport scenarios with maintainers discretion.
So the plural of scenario is scenari, two eyes.
Is it?
In Latin it is, but probably
We
right.
want to vote fixes to accessibility and UI that are knowledge in pre-existing policy. Issue.
You missed a D at the end of acknowledge.
Did I? Thank you. This is meant to encourage discretion from maintainers in particular, which takes time to get right, but is okay. Not my best wording, but we have yet another change we need to make to our policy. And
You mean
Sage, you're gonna
branch?
yes. Um, discretion scenario stars. Can you do emoji in branch names?
Ooh. I
I
feel like,
believe so.
yeah, Baptiste would know.
Sage, I believe you were also involved in those crimes that put an emoji in the bridge name.
Why would you know, Baptiste? How come?
We tried
If
that on
there
a
is,
project that Sage and I worked on.
Hmm.
if there's such a thing as emoji man,
Emoji.
Baptiste.
The Unicode experts. Okay. Getting there? Sage, are you prepared to switch over to your one?
Like, share my screen or,
No, 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 just
oh,
get your
yeah.
brain started.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of related to this one, I think.
Is it?
In a way, yeah.
Of maintenance, we may also apply patches in additional scenarios. Okay, I feel like that's a decent enough take for now. And we managed to do this without ChatG.
Chachi.
Do you like it or do you hate it?
It makes me uncomfortable.
That's kind of the point. Okay. Moving on. What about this one, Sage?
So let's look at our wiki for release schedule. You already have that 3 tabs to the right. Yep. Um,
Sorry, I'm just tab managing. You are after. What are you after?
I think when it comes to LTS, like, yeah, so if you look for, just look at the dates for active support versus security support, how it's been in the past and how it is between normal releases and LTS releases.
What am I meant to see?
Do we have any definition of what active support means and what security support means?
Oh,
That's the main problem. Like, what you have these dates, but what do they mean?
okay. So I guess we need to grep for active support in our docs and hope for the best. Security support. I mean, GIFs are important. Don't get me wrong.
It's GIF.
GIF.
It's actually
Okay.
pronounced Jife.
Where would that be, Sage? Is it the same document?
I believe it's just never written in our docs, and it's just in the release schedule wiki because we just kind of copied the terminologies for the dates from Django.
Again.
Again, I know.
Does Django define it?
Yes, I think
Ah, we're saved.
might be in download.
No, it doesn't. Mainstream support.
Mainstream support the
Mainstream support. Okay, that's the thing we have just edited. And security support is security fixes and data loss. So that's it? Ship it?
let's look at um yeah, and then but for LTS, so if you look at the timeline in the graph timeline in Django's, um, not this one, just look at the one from Django. Yeah, so mainstream support always ends as soon as the new release is out.
Mm-hmm.
But in our case, I don't think that's always the case, especially for LTS. So what this means is that for Django, like the crashing bugs, blah blah blah, is only fixed for the current latest stable. It's
Yeah.
never backported to previous releases. And now we look at our um, release schedule.
You want to know
So
how much overlap there is?
yeah, so I guess it's mostly the same except when it's LTS, we put active support. So LTS doesn't only mean security. So in Django's case, the extended support is
It's
only
only
for security
security
and
and
data loss. But in our case, it seems
we do more.
we do more. Is that what we want? And
Yes.
okay, well, in that case, we just need to define that because it's not defined anywhere.
Okay. So we need to define that active support is all those things that we were looking at together. And that security support, hang on, how much is security support for our LTS?
Same.
Oh, it's the same. Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, that seems like a quick fix to me. Agree that yes, we do intend to backport all sorts of things during LTS, and agree that security support is a few more things, and sometimes that does get longer
Yeah, I think
support.
the awkward bit is, especially now that the LTS period is, what is it, like 1.5 year instead
Yeah,
of just 1 year? Um, you'll have releases in between the LTSs that don't get the bug fixes, like the that are actually newer than the older, still supported LTS.
yeah,
Yeah, is that okay?
yeah.
Okay, well, yeah,
Unless Baptiste disagrees.
No, I think that's what you get when you have a LTS is that you a combination of LTS and a frequent release schedule means you probably are going to have these kind of gap. Um, I guess the release just after an LTS ends up losing support
Pretty
faster. Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
faster. Yeah, that's just a consequence. I
Okay.
think a lot of people for whom it matters, they just kind of skip those.
Yeah. Do you think we should extend your lovely diagram, Sage, to clarify the support periods in here?
We could. I think it's just yeah, we need to have like separate views to make it clearer because you can't have like I would love to be able to have like the same bar but with
Different, yeah.
different colors like Django's. So
Give the feedback to GitHub. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Okay, let's keep it sharp and make it happen. Oh, it's not supposed here as well. Um, New features and bug fixes. Last feature release branch. Critical problems. So this would also need to be updated then to match what I've just added elsewhere. Look, 3D backported. There is discretion.
yeah, documentation fixes.
Okay, I'll try and unify a bit those two versions after our stream. But let's make the tweak to your scenario. Is it in this same file?
Oh, yeah.
Boom, we're extending the scope of the pull request.
Did you see Copilot complain about my Latin pluralization?
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah. In the PR title.
I don't know what to think of this. Why does it? Yeah, anyway. Uh, Someone in the chat says, why Wagtail is still very far from WordPress CMS? I have replied, just very different directions. I don't know if you want to elaborate, Sage?
I think we could. It would help if they elaborate in what regard is it? Yeah. What was the word? Is it faster or is it
Just
detailed?
still very far from
Very
WordPress,
far.
no specific detail.
Yeah.
It assumes we're trying to catch up. Are we trying to catch up?
Depending on what aspects, I guess. Like, let's say accessibility. Is WordPress more accessible than Wagtail? And
Good question.
if it is, then we definitely want to catch up, no?
On that, for sure, yeah. I would definitely learn lots from their accessibility efforts.
Yeah, but not everything in WordPress is uh, something we want to do in Wagtail, because if that's the case, like we'll just use we'll just use WordPress.
The Django roots, the Python, I guess the philosophy of devs making changes in versioned code.
Yeah.
Is this here, Sage? And any other supported long-term support release branch? So it's more like, and any other release is marked under security support.
Yeah. And then the above. So that means we apply the all the things listed above, including the accessibility stuff, to the ones marked under active support, right? So we need to change the paragraph where it says the rule of thumb is that fixes will be backported to.
Um, this is denoted as active support. Like that?
Um, just for the record, that sentence before that already existed, that's copied from Django. And if you feel we should make changes to that, I'd be up for it. Because let's say there is an accessibility bug, and if there is a fix for that merge into main, we'll backport that, right? In your based on your discretion, you would backport it to the latest release, and the ones that are marked as active support. But would you say that it would have prevented the release in the first place?
It's a bug in what we've recently implemented. Yes?
No, it's a bug that has existed for a long time,
No.
but you would still backport it.
Yeah. Might as
Okay.
well make the fixes available for more people.
Yeah. Okay. Because the rule of thumb that was there only said about if the bug would have prevented the release in the first place. Release blockers.
Yeah, I understand this more as here is an example of we can definitely say that fixes will be backported rather than only the fixes within that
Right, yeah, but
scenario will be
then
backported.
I would appreciate if it says something like additionally, fixes of the above criteria can also be backported to um, branches under active support. So like it's in addition rather than that rule of thumb being like this is the only case where we would backport things.
Please suggest wording. I am
Okay.
too.
Additionally,
Additionally,
um,
this is Sage GPT now.
fixes for the above issues may also be backported to um, to release branches to releases under active support. Um, well, should we mention like the merger's discretion here?
At the discretion
Uh,
of maintainers.
yes. Okay.
Nice.
Um, should that be? We
No,
don't do this
no,
consistently. I'm just saying breaking it
no.
into separate lines. Just wrapping the lines because it's yeah. No. Just the fact that it's wrapped in a new line. Like it's Django style where
Yeah,
the
I'm not doing it.
uh, okay.
I'm not doing it until anyone complains, at least.
Okay.
Um, about security support. We should talk way more about formatting because, like, those kinds of nested bullet lists with paragraphs inside, like, it's just not helpful for anyone.
Yeah.
Just be nicer to have something that's way more scannable with headings. But yeah, not for now. Security support versus active support. What do you think of smart quotes? Do they spark joy?
I don't like it in my source code. When it's rendered, it's fine. So yeah, I don't do that.
Baptiste, in or out?
I would use the French style with like the angle brackets.
The shitpost working group lead has spoken.
Oh, I mean, I think consistency here is key. Probably err on the side of like just use regular one and until you can find a way to.
Smarty pants the whole docs.
What's the opposite of smarty pants then?
What's the opposite of smarty
It's you.
pants?
You have the answer. The opposite of smarty pants is chatgpt.com.
Oh no, smarty pants in my mind was a library to do quotes. Yeah. Yeah, surely this has like can we see the source? Oh, it's a zip file. We're pushing things too far again. Okay, we have fixed 2 issues with 1 PR. Is there a saying for that?
It's not very bird friendly or animal friendly.
You fed 2 birds with 1 worm early.
Ooh, I like that. Keep the birds alive. Pushing some backwards.
You fed
RFI.
you fed 2 early birds with 1 word. 1 worm. I'll get there.
I guess the birds are still in active support then.
This is pretty challenging to write, so any feedback on wording, particularly appreciated. Not unlike you, Copilot.
You didn't put an emoji in your message.
That's a good point. Okay.
Block user. Yeah, sure.
What happens if you do that?
No, don't tempt me. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, we have made progress. Is it the best? Maybe
Oh
not.
no, it's above 100.
Oh no. Well, we better find something to fix then. Sage. This is good, right? This is great. This definitely works. I trust you.
Have you actually tried it?
I have not, but I have looked at the code before right now. So I'm not just I'm not just chancing it. Where's our new UI component docs, Sage? Here they are. Where is the new controller link, Sage? Here they are. Psh, he fixed it. The links work and they're not horrendous.
What
Do you
about the
know
other one? The one in as extending. So open that that rendered build, please, and then extending on the left. Um, extending, accessing the
Oh,
editor.
you just you just no, not this one. You just reverted the links to what they were before, no?
Yeah, and if you click on the query controller. Okay.
Yeah, that's all fine. Nice one, Sage. I'll add release notes for that later. Are we backporting this?
I mean, documentation fixes are generally free to backport.
From Django's history, like when you make changes to the documentation builds, you probably want to backport them. Otherwise, sometimes it means that
Hmm,
a future documentation content backport might get messed up.
it's a great
Yeah.
point. Sometimes it's good to backport things just to make it easier to do future backporting of things.
And with enough backports, you end up with the new release.
Ta-da! No, 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 no. We're way more ambitious with new releases. All right. I ideally I'd release notes in the same PR, but it's not really that big a deal. I'll add them after.
Ooh.
Um, all right, you get two more commits, Sage.
No, it's fine if you want to squash it.
I think they were more valuable separately. Sage always makes an effort, Baptiste, to make very granular commits. So his commit count goes much faster because I know that he has made the effort and usually they are equally, sorry, separately valuable on the blames. One more.
On the annotation, you mean?
Ooh, Joel's probably isn't very far.
I'll
We
be
can merge this one. You can review it, Sage. Tell me it's good enough.
Where is? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll prove it. Give me the what's the number? 13307. Okay. Proof done.
A job well done. What do you think, Baptiste? Are you coming back?
Is this a regular event?
Should we tell him, Sage?
Irregularly regular or regularly irregular.
I can
Pick
try to
one.
regularly join irregularly.
Okay, sounds good.
This is live stream, by the way.
I know that's how I caught it in the first place.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah, usually it's the first time we live stream it. Usually we just pre-record and publish as a single video way later. Um, but I think we've always wanted to do something more live. It's just, have to announce it, have to have a plan. If we just record, we can decide later that we don't want this to see the light of the world. I think I have a backlog of like 3 to 4 yet to publish out of 8 we've ever done. Any parting thoughts? Did we do good?
I
Did
think we
well.
did great. Well,
Superman does good.
yeah, it's we finally put an end to this task that we've been putting off for a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. And I still don't think, our changes here are as good as they could be if we spent 10 more hours on this. But the diminishing returns diminish pretty fast. So I think it's good to agree that it doesn't have to be the best wording ever. And yeah, discretion and freely backporting.
I mean, even if at the end of the day it's still pretty much mostly up to your discretion when you merge things, having that in the documentation I think helps so that you can just say, well, according to the docs, we're allowed to have discretion. So
Pa 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 pa! Any parting thoughts? What are we doing next?
oh, you're gonna have to tell me how DjangoCon Africa goes.
Yes, and a quick word from our sponsor. There's DjangoCon Africa. Then we're going to be at DjangoCon US with the Wagtail booth. And then what happens after that, Sage?
Well, we have Wagtail Space.
The big reveal. We need more talks to make this an amazing event. Baptiste, are you submitting a talk?
No, what is Wagtail?
You have 1 week to go. All right. On that note, it's been fun. Thank you all. See you next time.